Today I'm going to be tackling the Panamera. You've seen in my other videos, I often design 911s. The Panamera, though, is one of my favorite Porsches. I've had the unique opportunity to drive the 2026 model just recently, and it is just such a fabulous Porsche. But unfortunately, it's just not the prettiest one. And to spec a pretty one is very challenging. And so in today's video, I'm going to tackle exactly that. Alrighty, let's scroll down to the Panamera. Here it is over here, 2025, 2026 model. Having driven the GTS recently, I can tell you that being a Porsche enthusiast, I would say that performance has to be one of the key criteria in your Porsche. And having driven the Panamera GTS model recently, for me, it is the absolute minimum power plant for that car. It's a heavy and large car. It drives beautifully, but you can feel the weight of that vehicle by the size of the engine that it has. So if I was choosing a Panamera to purchase myself, I would choose from the Panamera 4S e-hybrid upwards. So today I'm going to jump onto the Panamera GTS. I think it's always the sweet spot in the range. It's a good one for us to attempt to make pretty. All right, so here it is, white background. Let's pick a color. Now, I have seen the Panamera in a host of colors. I would say my favorite, having seen it on the road in the sunlight, is ice gray metallic. I mean, that sounds ridiculous. I never choose gray, just about ever. But it's actually more white in the sunshine. And with the sort of gray metallic in it, it brings the white to life. Alternatively, and this is it's kind of contrary to my general rule of thumb, which is lighter colors for larger vehicles, darker colors for smaller vehicles, is it actually looks fabulous in the Genshin blue. I'm going to stick today just with that zero priced Genshin blue. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Need to get a good mag wheel on. This is not too bad, but you know what my primary choice always with these things is? You want to get that combination of high gloss black and the polished chrome surfaces. You can see immediately how much better that wheel looks. Just add the chrome and suddenly the vehicle starts looking so much better. Those wheels now pop. That's your first choice. However, you can also get that sort of chrome with black in the Panamera exclusive design wheels. Okay, and this is going to come down to sort of personal taste. One of the pros of going with this vehicle is you don't have the central locking mechanism on the vehicle, which some of you will say, no, but that's so cool. It's so cool. Yeah, it's cool until it gets stuck. If you speak to the engineers at Porsche, they will all tell you that they nightmare around those central locking wheels. So if it's something you're desperate for, go for it. But what I like about the Panamera is it does give you the second choice of chrome with high gloss wheel, and that comes in this form of the exclusive design wheel for it. I think it's quite beautiful. If we pop back to the other wheel, no, that's okay. I think it's a bit spooky for my personal taste, but you might like it. We're going to stick to this one today. One of the best things about the interior of the Panamera is its wide range of choices. You get a much wider range of choices here than you do on most of the other Porsches. And there are such fabulous choices that have been put together already. My personal favorite, and it's the one we're going to do that matches the outside of the car. Remember, I always say to you, you got to get the curtains to match the drapes, is going here for the dark night blue and chalk beige. You know, I'm a chalk and crayon fan. You would say, but Brendan, you always say, don't go for brown. This is such a light brown in this car, and coupled with blue on the exterior, if you look through the window, it is beautiful. This is a fantastic, fantastic option. The GTS is going to come with those 18-way seats already plugged in, so we're good to go on that. I like to leave it with just the 4-seater because I prefer the column at the back then. You lose this if you go for the fifth seat. Seat ventilation front and rear, always. You stick it in, there's something you will use. I don't bother with the massage function. There might be somebody out there who goes, I've got it and it's fantastic and I use it all the time. Great. If you want it, stick it in. All right. Now, again, you know me. We got to go high gloss black, particularly with the blue. We've got the high gloss black now in the wheels. So we've got to tick the right boxes here. You can see the sports design apron front, 9,000 Rand. Carbon, 123,000. Do not tick the carbon. Do not tick the carbon. If you're desperate to have a carbon vehicle, then you need to contact me. Book an appointment with me at myperfectcar.co.za so that I can guide you very specifically on high gloss black. Look at what Singer is doing. Everything they do. High gloss black looks absolutely amazing. You've got the choice on the Panamera to have the black mirrors. I think I quite like here they've given you the split between the black and the car color on the rearview mirror. I think we're going to leave that on this particular occasion because it is high gloss black, that base. So I think we're looking great, but we got to add the door handles. You always, always, always add the door handles. Look at that. Panamera, you got to put the sunroof in. You've got to, as I say, I drove the GTS around with that full panoramic ceiling. It's just a magic vehicle to purchase it. All right, lettering. We need to high gloss black this back because you've got matte in here. So let's get those into high gloss black. Model designation painted high gloss black, definitely. Let's put that in. Lights and vision. We've got standard matrix. Always want to go for the HD matrix. I promise you, it is like you've changed planets. These lights are so good. I'm not going to go for the tinted. A lot of guys on the GTS do go for the tinted, but we've got a bit of chrome in the wheels, and I need to start pulling that through elsewhere. So we're going to go for the standard HD matrix because that brings the chrome in. Remember, these are elements that we want to pull through in the vehicle. Interior options, let's see what we can do here. We've already picked two-tone leather interior, which means that most of the vehicle has already got all the leather in, stitchings in place. I think at this point in time, we don't need to add any more stitching to the vehicle. For me, personally, the silver shade is always the best to go for in the interiors of these vehicles. It brings through that chrome from the exterior that we've been talking about. We bring the chrome through, and then I like to put in the silver shade accents as well. This just gives us as much of the chrome on the interior as possible to pull to the exterior chrome elements. Standard leather package over here for 71,000 Rand. What are you going to get in there? Inner dorsal guards, we want those. The B-trim leather, we definitely want those. Fuse box covers, we definitely want those. Dashboard ends, these are the dashboard ends over here. Never really see them, but I think we want the rest, so we're going to tick on those there. We'll get in our chalk beige stitching in there with it onto that, and we will finish that in. Now we know that all the leather bits that we want are in. Seatbelt colors I wouldn't change because I don't think you can get the dark night blue anyway on the seatbelts. Crest on the headrests, yes, I think I would do that. You've got the GTSs in the seats, but it's great to just put something on those headrests because it's quite blank. You see here, you've got the race tech steering wheel. For an everyday drive, it's the wrong material to have. Why? Not because it's uncomfortable. It's because you're going to wear it smooth very quickly. So leather is the way to go for your daily commute. Here, you want to go for the heated GT steering wheel. GT steering wheel is a little bit thicker, gives you a better grip on it. I find it much better. And we'll put the leather in on it because this is your luxury vehicle. You'll see now the color should match better as well. The race text only comes in that black gray kind of color. Now you can get your dark night blue on the steering wheel as well. And now you get the silver shade coming through on the steering wheel as well. Those chromed elements pulling throughout. Alrighty, model designation on the armrest, I really like. In fact, I think if you look on the photos I've posted up on my platforms, you'll see the armrests with the model printed on it. Absolutely fantastic. I always love putting in the aluminium pedals. I think they're absolutely fantastic. Much nicer than just the standard black. Powertrain, let's have a look. You always get the rear axle steering, folks. These longer vehicles, you halve the length of the vehicle by putting the rear axle in it. Always put the sports chrono package with Porsche design sub-second clock in. You want a beautiful Porsche design clock in it. Right, now we've got a choice, an interesting choice. We've got the red in here. We don't have a red tail out light on the GTS because it automatically comes blacked out. We've only got a little red reflector in the back. It's not very pronounced, and I often find this red doesn't quite match there. So my suggestion, even on this build, is to go for the high gloss back on the calipers. I think it looks better and it sticks to that black blue chrome. We don't want to add a fourth element. Remember your rule of three. You want three elements on the exterior, not the fourth one. Let's put the assistance systems in. These are really just up to you. Heads up display, always useful. Remote park assist you're not going to need. Lane change assist you always get. And the rest you don't need, not in this vehicle. 4-zone comes standard on the GTS, which is great. The electric sun blinds you can choose. I actually do a video. There is a video on my platforms with regards to the sun blinds. They are very useful and interesting. Take them if you want them. You do not need a passenger display. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is our Panamera. And I actually think it's quite pretty. As I said, it's hard to make this vehicle pretty, but I think we've done a pretty good job. And especially for the price, as I said, compared to the 911s, you feel like a discount and you're getting a lot of car. Just really worth owning as your daily driving Porsche. The 911 becomes a bit of a challenge if you're driving it daily. Panamera is just a wonderful daily driver. Jump onto my website, www.myperfectcar.co.za, and book an appointment with me. If you are ordering a new Porsche, you do not want to mess it up, not for this price. I will help you spec it perfectly. So book your appointment with me on my website right now.